Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. Thank you for joining me for yet another video. And today we're going to be discussing the New England Patriots and the betting odds for who's going to be the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots come week one of next NFL season. Now, around this time last year, we had no idea if Tom Brady was going to come back to the Patriots or if he was going to go somewhere else. I know the Chargers, the Raiders, they were being thrown around. Not too much about Tampa at this point of last year. But at this point, we had reason to believe that Brady would be going elsewhere. And for the most part, we thought that Jarrett Stidham was going to be the starting quarterback simply for the simple reason of Bill Belichick giving him the nickname Stid. And so we thought that was concrete enough to be like, oh, they have a great relationship. That might be the case. And so throughout most of the off season, we went through with the indication like, okay, they're either going to draft someone or maybe Jarrett Stidham's going to be the answer. The draft came, draft left. We did not take a quarterback. And so therefore we knew then we felt that Jarrett Stidham was going to be the guy up until late when Bill Belichick decided like, no, this is not going to happen. I need to go get somebody. And he brought in Cam Newton. Fast forward, Cam Newton, he had a less than impressive year this past season. I don't think it was really all on Cam. I think that, he's someone that due to his personality, it's a lot easier to, be a little bit harsher on him than perhaps other quarterbacks. But that being said, the offense, it wasn't the same. It wasn't like what it was for Brady, and there was various reasons why. I mean, I feel there's a reason why Brady chose to leave in the first place. It's because of the lack of weapons. I mean, no offense, but N'Keal Harry, he's not the answer. We missed on another first-round pick there, and they just didn't have much. Darius Byrd, he's not the answer at receiver as well, and Julian Edelman, he cannot stay healthy for anything the last couple of seasons. But with that being said, Cam, he did tackle on 12 rushing touchdowns, 8 passing touchdowns, which is not impressive at all, 12 interceptions. But he was playing good until he got COVID. But if we're going to get back in the thick of things for the Super Bowl, we need to really evaluate the position and determine what makes the best sense moving forward. And so as we take a look here, so sportsbetting.com, they actually have Marcus Mariota as the favorite for next season's starting quarterback for the Patriots. Now, that makes sense. It really does in terms of what the Patriots would be looking for in terms of when we are looking to acquire a quarterback. If we all know Bill Belichick, he's not looking to throw around 2-3 first-round draft picks to get a quarterback or any position, really. That's just not how he likes to build teams. And so if we're going to bring in someone, it's going to be if it's through trade, it's going to be one in which does not require us to set back a couple draft classes to do it. So Marcus makes a lot of sense. The Raiders, they have some cap issues going on there. They can cut ties with Marcus, and pretty much that would be a help there. And from what we saw in the very limited series that he had with the Raiders, Marcus Mariota looked very impressive, to say the least. They have Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby makes sense, former Patriot. Before he was traded to the Colts, he's going to be looking to go somewhere and start, preferably. There's not going to be very many options for him to go start. But if he were to come to the Patriots, that would be, familiarity. He got to play a couple games when in exchange for when Tom Brady was out due to the 4-game suspension, and Jimmy Garoppolo had went down midway through his second start for the Patriots, which seems to be a theme for Jimmy going down, but that's a whole different thing. We'll get to that when we get to Jimmy. So Jacoby Brissett makes a lot of sense. You won't have to waste any draft picks to get him. You can get him cheap. He can come in. He's familiar with the system. So I expect for the Patriots to at least bring him in and possibly have him maybe even compete. Hopefully, if they do bring him in, they will pair that with a rookie quarterback. Jarrett Stidham, I don't think that Jarrett Stidham should be that high on the list in terms of third. I honestly think Cam Newton makes more sense than Jarrett Stidham, as Cam will not have a deep market to really choose from. I mean, maybe the Washington football team, perhaps, but I don't think they want to go in that direction. I mean, if they're going to stick with someone that's a project, they're probably going to stick with Alex Smith. That's just what I'm thinking at this term. But I think they want to get someone that's younger, and they don't want to necessarily go that route. For Cam, it'll be the familiarity of, okay, we just completed one season together, and I honestly feel that the Patriots, they need to bring in a free agent quarterback or trade for someone sooner rather than later, because a lot of these receivers and tight ends, they want to know who's potentially going to be throwing in the ball. They don't want to look on the depth chart and see that, okay, it could be Brian Hoyer or Jarrett Stidham throwing in the ball. I mean, no offense to those guys, perhaps Jarrett Stidham, maybe he could be the answer, but based upon Bill Belichick not throwing him in the fire last season told me a lot about where he stands in that regards. So perhaps just bringing Cam Newton in while you pair him with a rookie quarterback makes the most sense, in my opinion. I honestly feel that he could do better than what he did, last year, especially if we're having more of a regular season, which we're really hoping for in terms of COVID and all of that stuff. Now, drafting a rookie quarterback, this is what I really hope that the Patriots really do make sure that they get their guy, whether it's Mac Jones that they identify, Justin Fields, whoever it is. I hope that they just go ahead, and I hope that it would be nice if he falls to the Patriots, but if it looks like he's going to get selected before us, I hope that we do this year take the time to make sure that we get our guy for the future. Again, you want to get weapons around him, which is why I feel that it's important that we bring in a veteran as well, so we can try to attract some talent at the receiver and tight end position, which we desperately need. But yeah, definitely, I would like to see the Patriots bring in a rookie quarterback. Blaine Gabbert, no, that's not the answer. No, not even going to entertain that. That would be horrible if we did that. Andy Dalton, no, as much as Skip Bayless may believe in Andy Dalton, no, Andy showed that he could not even look decent with the weapons that he had with the Cowboys. So no. Deshaun Watson would be a pipeline dream. I think even Bill Belichick would throw around those first round picks when it comes to someone like Deshaun Watson, but I don't think that they're going to be trading Deshaun Watson into the Patriots. They're not really looking to trade him, they're saying, at least publicly. But even then, I can see a couple of teams, even within the division, that have a better shot at landing him than the Patriots. But it would be nice to see him or even a Russell Wilson or something like that. Brian Hoyer, another one of those that I really, a lot of things would have to go wrong for this guy to end up starting for the Patriots. And I don't know why he's higher than Jimmy Garoppolo, other than the simple fact that I guess he's on the current roster, so that gives him a better chance. But no to Brian Hoyer as well. Jimmy Garoppolo, I have my hesitations, but I mean, if he became an option, you'd have to be crazy not to take that option. I'm sure that he's tired of the blame game, hearing from a lot of people like he's the reason why the 49ers didn't win the Super Bowl, so I'm sure that he would love to go back to somewhere where the coach appreciates him. And right now, Patriot fans would love to have someone like him, there. We would hope that he'd be able to finish the entire season, but overall, we'd just be thankful to have that veteran presence in there, someone who knows the system. That Josh McDaniels, we know that we've seen success. Because let's not act like we did not see the Patriots go like 11-5 with Matt Castle at quarterback. The only difference was the receivers, honestly, that we had at that time compared to what we have now. It's like day and night, big difference. Tight end as well. And so if we can get some playmakers in at receivers, that could really put the Patriots in a great position moving forward to next season. I mean, they went 7-9, and that's despite losing Tom Brady, despite all the opt-outs. And so if they can bring in a quarterback that can just come in there and just look decent, just be middle of the pack in terms of production in the league, and combine that with our running game, which is pretty consistent throughout last season. And so I like where the Patriots are, but it's very important that we acquire someone soon to attract the weapons that we need. So thank you so much for joining me for another video. It's definitely appreciated. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, I look forward to speaking with you guys then.